The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
Is Generation X. That's me. I was born in the 70s. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh, like 79 or like 73?
I'm not talking to you about this. After 12.
But like, you don't say nothing night, like, you know, like kind of, you know.
Christina, can we stay on script? This is why I have it.
What? Like sometimes you act your age and sometimes you don't. And this is one of those moments where it's like, wow, like this lady's really. Anyway.
You call me a lady?
I did call you a lady. Hello, 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 beautiful people.
A virus can have more powerful consequences than any terrorist action. And that's true. And if the world doesn't want to wake up and consider this enemy virus as public enemy number one, I don't think we will learn from our lessons.
Selena?
My dear, you.
Why? What's happening here?
Is that me?
I can hear everything.
Is it me? No. Oh, wow.
So Selena gets a boo today.
Wah, wah, wah.
But this is the stuff that happens on In the Now.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it because we don't have a lot of time.
No, we don't.
Okay, so I know everyone's probably sick about hearing about this coronavirus, but there's some things, I know, I get it. But there are some things that we need to understand, okay? First thing, this virus, there's a lot about this stuff that we don't know. Mm-hmm. And we need, I know you're getting tired of hearing about this until it licks somebody here real tough. But let me just go through what the World Health Organization is saying. So they're urging the world to wake up and be a little bit more aggressive about their thoughts, people like Christina, about this virus because apparently...
This man-made virus?
Right? Okay. This biologically made virus that's been pushed throughout the world. So a couple things you guys should know. The cases are now up to 60,000. Okay? That's a lot of people sick since December. We are only in February. So think about that, all right? So in Japan, things like this are happening. There was a ship that had 3,400 passengers on it. 218 people got infected. This is the thing I thought about, though. When I think of a cruise ship, I think of stops. Mm-hmm. So if these people had the virus and they're making stops, mm-hmm. and this is why this is an issue that we all need to worry about, mm-hmm. who did they infect when they were stopping?
Who did they infect, or how did they get infected?
When they and forget how they got infected. That's something that none of us are going to know.
Okay.
It's who they're infecting. Remember, they're making these stops, and they have all these. They have 218 people who were infected, may not have even known about it, mm-hmm. and they're stopping at these different ports, right? Mm-hmm. So wouldn't that mean that they're getting in contact with all these different people as well, spreading the virus? So I don't want to go through everything because we don't have the time, but I will say that U.S. has wanted to interject and go and help, and
of course the U.S. wants to go and help.
And China has
said...
Go
and help.
Right. And China has said no. They're saying they're looking at 18 months to come up with a vaccine.
Oh, my gosh.
For this. 18 months. How many people do you think are going to get infected in 18 months if we're already at 60,000?
I think about 1 million.
A month and a half. And this is why they're saying that this virus needs to be taken seriously. So let's see. Okay, so you can be asymptomatic. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
For up to 5 to 10 days, I believe. But you can still have the virus. So I could have it, not realize it, and do in the now with you, and next week you're croaking. Okay?
Wow.
All right. So one thing also I've learned about this is you need to, as consumers of news, we need to stop focusing on just what the US, Fox, is pushing out. A lot of the information I got was from the UK. Some was actually from, Taiwan news. So there's news coming right out of these sources letting us know what's happening. So here's what's scary. Experts believe that each person that tests positive with the virus will go on to infect 2.5 people.
Okay.
All right? Meaning such a high attack rate could infect 60% of the world's population if it's not controlled. And they don't have a vaccine for another 18 months. So we're looking at, we have about 7 billion people on the planet. So we're looking at least 6 billion people getting infected with this. So this is an issue. To be honest, a virus is now more powerful in creating critical social and economical unrest than even any type of terrorist attack. And people need to think about this. Think about what is happening and start doing your research, people. Something's not right. So, figured I'd start with that. But I know you got something when we come back. What are we talking about, Christina?
We're talking about why I can't go to Montreal. Because VRL is not working right now.
What?
Yeah, serious.
Okay. Well, you could hitch a ride on the bus and just be dragged, but we'll talk about that later.
On the next segment of In the Now.
See you guys soon.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Tonight, Robin Gill.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Via Rail has now canceled all commuter train service across Canada because of the ongoing blockades. CN Rail also shut down its network in eastern Canada. Protesters who joined Indigenous leaders opposed to a natural gas pipeline in BC have been causing major disruptions. The Prime Minister says he's hoping for a resolution as soon as possible.
Obviously, this is a situation we're following very closely, but obviously we're a country of the rule of law, and we need to make sure that those laws are followed.
The federal government says it's ready to meet with the elders, but as Abigail Beeman reports, the offer comes with a call to end the blockades.
Use the washrooms. This is our turf today.
Activists stage a sit-in at the BC Attorney General's office in Vancouver.
We are demanding that David Eby meet with us in person, and we will not leave until that happens.
One staff member seemed upset. Her boss commenting from the BC legislature still shut down to the public due to protesters.
We've been able to accommodate different protests, but where the line is obviously anything in relation to the safety of my staff.
The BC government, along with Ottawa, have accepted a request to meet with hereditary chiefs opposed to the Coastal GasLink pipeline, but call for an end to the CN Rail blockade in northern BC.
I'm hopeful that it may help. It may help the situation.
In Ontario, Federal Indigenous Services Minister Mark Miller offered to meet with the Mohawk community, but in an email asked them to remove the rail barricade as soon as possible, calling it a highly volatile situation, saying he's concerned about safety.
Colonial politicians like Mark Miller turning the situation around like as if we're the ones that are being violent, kicking our skin. You are lying. You're manipulating, you're turning the situation around, you're gaslighting us.
This BC Indigenous MLA says protests across the country aren't actually helping Indigenous people.
No, they are uninformed. They're only getting one.
So this video is actually a couple hours old because as of this morning, CN Rail has shut down the eastern part of their network. So no trains, whether commercial, whether commuter, are working on the eastern part of Canada right now. They're shut down.
Why?
So, no. So protests and blockades have been there by the Indigenous peoples who are stopping them from building a gas pipeline through their land. Now, the funny thing is this land doesn't belong to Canada.
So who does this land belong to?
It belongs to those Indigenous people. So if you remember the whole treaty that the Europeans made with the Indigenous people of Canada, it was for a massive section of Canada. Okay. But this particular section that they're trying to run through doesn't belong to Canada. It wasn't included in that treaty. So it belongs to those Indigenous people. So they're saying you can't just forcefully brush through and put your stuff here. This is not Canadian land. We don't need a treaty from the Prime Minister. We don't need help from the federal government. We don't want you to be here.
At all.
At all.
I agree.
So what they've been doing is for the past couple of weeks, there's been blockades, there's been protests, and as of this morning, CN Rail has shut down their network. So nothing is happening in the eastern border, and it's causing a loss to obviously traffic, obviously grain, gas, petroleum, all of these things are not being sent to and from that portion of Canada. So it's a pretty big deal. And
so
because of that...
Why? So let me just make sure I'm clear about this. They shut it down. Why?
So, in a media statement, Via Rail has no other option but to cancel all of its services on the network, with the exception of the Sudbury White River CP Rail and Churchill of the Pass Hudson Bay Railway until further notice.
Is this petty? Are they being petty?
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't belong to Canada. So you can't just have a Canadian company come and start building on your land.
Right, but Via Rail stopping this, why would they do that?
They can't go through the blockade. There's physical people on the tracks.
Okay, there's understanding on the tracks. I understand now. Let me get it. I understand.
Yes, let's run them down. Like that would be.
So they can't go anywhere. They can't go anywhere. Do anything.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
pretty major.
What else is happening? What else do they got about this?
So essentially, they said they're going to process refunds for canceled and rescheduled trips, but obviously it's having a big impact on commerce. And boards of trade in the area are quite upset because they're like, this is affecting our money. And the Indigenous people are like, essentially what has happened was the chiefs of the tribe, so the tribes themselves at one point in time did agree to let this pipeline go through. Okay. But the chiefs of these tribes, they are the actual owners of the land. And they're saying, we don't want this to happen. It's going to endanger our people. It's going to cause pollution. And it's going to hurt the wildlife, which we hold sacred. So even though the tribal members have allowed for this to happen, about 20 tribes, the chiefs of these 20 tribes are like, this can't happen.
Oh, so there was things happening within.
Yeah.
It looks like there's stuff happening within these tribes as well, because there's people who obviously want the money.
Obviously.
And then there's people who are like, no, we need to. But that's been happening for years.
Right.
There's always that unrest when it comes to money, because money is the root of all evil.
Yes. So next up, we're going to talk about Clearview AI, which is a controversial system that the Toronto Police was found to be using for the past 5 months. Selena, please play the clip.
We've got a lot of new technology to talk about this morning. A new app called Clearview AI allows people to discover personal information just from a photo. The app uses facial recognition to identify a person, giving users access to their name and even address. Clearview has a database with over 3 billion images from social media sites and apps. to find a match.
So this is big corporate tech giants. They've done this all along, and now all this information is being scraped, like you said, by this company, Clearview AI. So through that one photo, they're able to have access to all that information, and about 600 police are now using this for surveillance.
Yeah, so through the app, it's been raising a lot of privacy concerns. It's not currently open for the general public to use, so that's the thing here, but to help solve the hardest crime. That's why you heard Jessica Naziri there mentioning law enforcement. Hundreds of police officers, the departments and the agencies, including the FBI, are already using this facial recognition technology. However, Clearview has the largest database.
So this is a bit scary because essentially what this technology allows us to do, or law enforcement officers to do, or crazy people to do, is basically take a photo from your Instagram, from your Facebook, you know, from your LinkedIn, run it through this AI, and they can pick and find all of this information about you. And that's really scary. Like, where's privacy? Where is public security? It's literally gone out the window. And unfortunately for us, Toronto PD has been using this solution and this software on the DL.
Yeah, I heard the chief was like, I didn't know.
Exactly. They've been using this on the DL in experimental trials since October 2019. Like, how many cases will be affected by this? Or how many cases will have improper conduct and etc. because of this? So they admitted that some of their officers have been using Clearview, which is powerful, it's controversial, and it's a facial recognition tool that, like I said before, can literally pick your information by just running a simple photo through it. So Chief Mark Saunders says that he directed officers to stop using the technology when he became aware of its use a couple of days ago. So he found out about this on February 5th. So I think just last week.
Yeah. Apparently. Because things just happen under a chief's, like,
yeah.
So my question is, where's your leadership?
Yeah.
How are these things just happening under your nose, Chief Sanders? Like, how are people using things that work in your department and you not know about it? Like, I understand these things can happen. These things can happen.
That is true.
But to the extent that it was happening, for him not to have any clue about it and to now be saying, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
There's something that needs to be done there.
Yeah. So here's how powerful Clearview AI is. So it can turn up search results, okay, address, occupation, your phone number, all through nothing more than a photo. So right now, at this present point in time, this software is not available to the likes of you and I. The public can't access or use the software.
We can't.
No, we cannot.
They can use it.
Yes, they can.
Okay. All right. So Toronto, you heard it. Make some noise. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
What do you think? People have been using all type of AI against us.
And the thing with AI that has been a growing problem in the technology space is the biases that the people who are programming this AI are having, and they're programming, whether intentionally or unintentionally, their biases into AI. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that can be a problem.
So that is problematic because, first and foremost, the people who are building AI, they don't look like you and I.
No, they do not.
So they don't understand our situations. They don't understand our thoughts, our feelings, our situations.
Wow.
So what's happening is now you have a certain group of people, almost exclusively, building these systems. And obviously their biases are what's going to be carried through when it's being used by law enforcement and governments, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely something to think about, to take in, and just realize the repercussions that this can have. I mean, if the Toronto PD has been using this for over 4 months and we had no clue about it, can you imagine what the federal government may be doing? Doug Ford's government may be doing? Justin Trudeau's government may be doing?
He wants to shut down media, so anyhow. When we come back, actually, Grant just uploaded some new stuff. about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
That think you guys should know. Again, I'm not here to scare anybody, but you guys need to be aware. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the most recent news.
Breaking news
on the coronavirus here on In the Now. See you guys soon.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
So welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
You know what? Honestly, being in the office, Grant is always talking about this thing.
Oh God, this should be so annoying.
He is always talking about. I mean, every 3 seconds he comes to my office like, Simone, there's been an update. Simone, there's been an update, and I'm just like, ugh. Simone, buy canned goods just in case there's been an update, and I'm just like, Grant, honestly, guy. But you know what? I looked over some of the stuff. The one that probably got me is in the first segment I talked about the fact that how quickly it can infect, how one person can infect 2.5 people, and cruise ships are going out. So we do need to, just because it hasn't hit Toronto yet, the way that we know, again, this is just from the reports that we don't know how bad it is in Toronto yet, because a lot of this stuff is being covered up. It doesn't mean that we don't need to be aware, because what tends to happen with people is we always try to be reactive instead of proactive. We react to things. So it's going to take like someone's cousin to drop down dead from coronavirus. Then it's going to be like, oh my God, and then mayhem hits. So we're going to provide you with as much news as possible on it. The latest things we have right now. So apparently, and Selena, if you can pull up the article on Okinawa. Oh, yeah, I said it wrong. Probably did. Here it is. So the first case was actually appeared in Okinawa. So this happened, let's see. So February 14th, Okinawa confirmed that a female taxi driver in her late 60s living in the prefecture was infected. And this was the very first appearance of it in Okinawa. And I was asking someone about where this was exactly, because I'm ignorant. I don't know. So maybe someone can let me know. But you were saying that this is in the Pacific. So there we go. This has reached the Pacific now. And people have to understand, too, it makes sense. If there's something that's airborne, we've got to think about things like wind and how, no, but this is real. This is how this thing is getting spread, because wind moves things. That's how, like, there's currents. So these things are spreading. Something's happening, because now it's in the Pacific for whatever reason. Then I think there's also 8 planes that were put on lockdown. Can we pull that one up, Selena?
Heathrow, right?
Yes. So they confirmed that someone has become unwell on board Flight 901 from San Francisco. So one of the travelers, like I guess the travelers had to fill out some forms, and then workers in hazmat suits came in to clean.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's something going on. People are concerned. People are worried. things are being spread. People are flying. People are still traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, actually, Trish told me yesterday that, I guess in Walmart, shelves are starting to look bare.
Why?
But this is my thing. Are we dependent on China?
Yeah, we are.
That's terrible.
Sleep. Do not sleep. We are.
That's terrible.
Like, there's been a lot of, in the business world, remember we spoke about drop shipping?
Yes.
A lot of drop shippers can't get products because they drop ship from where? China.
China.
So their whole business is like at a standstill. Hair manufacturers can't get their hair no more from China and India.
Black girls. It's affecting you too.
I remember this. I saw this tweet and this girl's like, oh, her hair just arrived from China, from AliExpress, and she wasn't sure she wanted to wear it or not. But she's like, I paid 600 pounds, so I guess I'm going to drop dead with this beautiful weave. And I was just like, sis!
First of all, 600 pounds? What is this thing made out of? On a real note. But it scares me how dependent we are.
You know where
on
it's been
China
going recently? You know where it's been really dead? And I mean this like as an observation.
Oceans
and seasons has been dead.
It's so true. I went to Oceans the other day and the parking lot was empty.
I was like, yo, why is it so empty here?
Then this man coughed with his mouth not covered and I just did a U-turn and went right back to my car. I'm not having that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to cough, do the armpit cough, Brethren. But no, it's very disturbing. I'm being serious. That fact that we in North America are so dependent on China and that it took this to realize that we need to start doing something else. We can't be so dependent on them that something's happening and the whole world's shut down. But then it makes you think, is this the reason that all this is happening?
To shut down the West?
To shut down the West?
Maybe.
Guys, there's some questions. All I can say to you, take care of yourself. They're saying now the best way to prevent these things is just to be healthier. They're talking about actually flax seeds being a good way to like help your body, like period. Just to eat it, it helps you. It helps your immune system. There's other things that you can do. Just living a naturally healthy lifestyle, going to the gym, mentally healthy, taking care of yourself. Because if your mental's not good, your body's not good. So there's ways that you can prevent all viruses, all sicknesses, and that's just better care of self. So keep those things in mind. When I come back, Christina,
yes,
we're gonna talk about some idiot things that are happening on social media. On something I would like to call "Do It for the Likes." If we could play Chronic's song, I would do it right now, but I can't. We'll see you soon on In the Now.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
That's wild.
So what's happening right now on social media, which is very dangerous and scary, especially for our younger people who sometimes have no sense, it's not their fault, they're just young, is that people are starting to do
home training.
No. People are starting to do things just for the likes. And then there's some idiot people who are sharing these things. I'm actually not really taking part of it. I just want to highlight the fact that these things are actually happening and that people are partaking in sharing and giving people these views for strippiness. So Cassandra Thomas, who happens to be from the islands, from St. Martin, this is what she had to say. It wasn't the best idea when I did it. It didn't seem that bad. I saw the road was cleared. There was no potholes. If the bus was going to break, I was going to go like this. And then she did something with her hand and stop myself from going under the bus because you just have this all planned out. Everything was calculated. I thought it was the time to do it. Okay, so this is what she had to say. Obviously, reporters run around asking about it. Some people thought it was stupid. Some people thought it was funny. Some people are not surprised.
What was the reason?
She's just one of those adrenaline junkies.
Oh, okay.
So she thought this was a good thing to do in the snow anyhow. So her father says that he kind of knows she does all these things and she usually prepares herself for them. So he doesn't encourage it, but he knows that she's capable of doing them. So he doesn't get too upset. Now, this is what this idiot gal had to say at the end of her interview. Most of the things I do, you can't say it's wise. I like living on the edge. I like doing extreme things. I recommend anyone doing the same thing. It can be really, really stupid. So,
how old is she?
I don't care.
But how old is she, though?
I don't care.
I think it matters.
No. She's probably, she's grown enough. She looks mature. She's like maybe 21, 22. Maybe, I'd say between 20 and 25. But they're stupid too, though.
You're a big woman.
And you know what? You're saying it's stupid, but then you're putting it out there. Then why are you putting it out there if you know it's not wise? I do not recommend. Boo. All right. So before I show this next video, I have a question to ask Ala Toronto. Who the hell is this Debbie girl? Drop this video, please, Selena.
You don't pull up to my crib on game day talking about you're gonna sauce man and shit. Like, you cursed my whole jumper today. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like all that energy, like negative energy, man. Keep that energy away from me, man. Stop pulling up to man's crib when they have games to win and shit, man. Cheese me today.
Cause Drake didn't want it. Drake knows I could crush him in ball any day. Oh, Drake, you just posted something on your story last night saying I fucked up your game. What game? You never had game, nigga. You could never play, bro. That's why I told you 1v1. But what? You were shook? Let's be honest, fam. Listen, Drake, your gang, I lied for you. Go get him gang shots down shit. You already know how I'm coming. But when it comes to the ball, shut the fuck up. You have no game, nigga. I see these guys are trying to tell me to leave because Drake didn't want it. Drake knows I could crush him in ball any day. Drake's a fucking peon, bro. Drake knows I run the city over here. Come on now, Drake. Come on. Come outside, fam. Come outside, fam.
Like, what is this, Regin?
Oh my god.
This idiot. So,
Starbuzz. Is that her channel?
Yes, Starbuzz. Check it out.
What?
Yes. How does this girl get any play? How is Drake even acknowledging this idiot?
What do you say acknowledging? What do you mean?
He said he went on and made that video to say this girl was outside his house.
And therefore what? Did he condemn her or was he?
Yes.
Okay.
So he acknowledged the idiot. He acknowledged her. I won't even acknowledge this fool.
How are you supposed to condemn them?
Anyhow.
No. Let's talk. How is he supposed to condemn her?
My problem is how is she just throwing around the words that
I'm
she's
surprised.
throwing around?
I'm really surprised nobody has
called this girl out yet. That she's saying the word in everything she talks. That word drops out of her mouth like it's nothing. Like it's so easy. And I'm like, what's going on in Scarborough though? What's happening that this girl is walking around, has a YouTube channel, Instagram page, and people are actually paying this idiot mind? Debbie, go away.
Go away, Debbie.
Go away. She's saying like, listen, I'll give the. She can't even talk. You can't even talk. If you're gonna even try to learn to talk, form your words, bitch. What is wrong with you?
So how did she drive up to? How old is she?
I don't care. Again, I don't care. I'm only getting irritated the fact that this girl's dropping words that she should not be dropping. No one should be saying them, but she most definitely should not be saying them.
You're right.
So where does that leave us, people? Our world is getting dumber. And we're going to end with a video that just shows how dumb our world is getting. We'll see you guys next week.
In the Now. Do we have a guest next week?
Yes,
we have
do,
a guest.
But you'll hear that more this week. Stay tuned, guys.
Follow us on social media, subscribe,
Bye.
like, comment, and share.
See you later.
How many continents are in the world?
How many continents? Isn't it just one continent?
Are you totally deranged?
How many continents are there in the world?
3, 4, 5, 6.
5.
40-something?
40-something? Are you crazy?
How about 7?
What planet is closest to the sun?
Shit. Not us here. Mars. No, we do this united. Black folks united.
No.
That right? What is Mercury?
There you go.
What planet is closest to the sun?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
What planet is farthest from the sun? Jupiter. Uranus. How many feet are in an inch?
Yeah, no feet in an inch. Inches are in feet.
Okay. True.
We use kilometers, we use liters, we use grams, but the height thing never made the transition to the metric system from the old